Hello and a warm welcome to our SfYC Care training video, an active listening approach. Model 2, Learning Unit 4, Video 1. There are many strangers sitting here and you have all listened to me more than my friends have ever done. What can we expect in the following learning video? We are talking about the attitude of the active listening approach, about techniques and levels of the active listening, and for our practice, active listening within the counseling steps and what else is useful. Active listening is an attitude. The SfYC Care practitioner should always stay open and curious and try to be honest, open, interested and curious. And we should apply an approach of not knowing. In different schools and variants of systemic therapy and counseling, the approach of not knowing concerning the solutions of the client's problems as a central attitude has established itself in professional work. The SfYC Care practitioner should have reflected following points. There is always an interaction and influence between the counselor and the person and the system. The assignments and the settings should be reflected. The education of the counselor should also be in mind. Am I a social worker, a job coach, a therapist, etc. The own strengths and weaknesses, the possibilities and limits. Knowing the demarcation between counseling and therapy, for example. Look here at IO5, the face-to-face curriculum. SfYC Care practitioners should have worked with their own biography and experiences in order not to get entangled in topics of persons or systems. If this happens, it is highly recommended to go to a supervision. What triggers a person or system with me? And always be aware of my prejudice. In the following, we are talking about the techniques of the active listening approach. Mirroring, repeat and summarize, invite to talk about, open, solution and resource-oriented questions, own speech share as low as possible. In the following, we are talking about the techniques of the active listening approach. Mirroring. Mirroring is a social behavior often unconsciously exhibited, where a person mimics or mirrors the behavior or gesture of another, expressing in your own words what the other person has understood in terms of content, feelings or needs. Repeat and summarize what have been said. Inviting to talk about individual aspects. Just, for example, you just said you wish that could be a little bit more fair. I do not have a picture of this, what you mean. Can you explain it more in detail? Open, solution and resource-oriented questions. Own speech, share as small as possible. Now we are talking about the levels of the active listening. Level 1, voice and body language. Level 2, the content. Level 3, emotions. And level 4, our own resonances. To make this more tangible, we will look at what this means in practice in individual SfYC Care steps of counseling. We start with the counseling step welcome and introduction. Here we can have a closer look at the voice and the body language and the content. It is important first to get into contact, taking up situational issues, what has been said, or to the body language. You seem to be out of breath. Or just ask, did you find it well? Or you can offer just something. And to stay person-centered, it is recommended to let the person choose a seat at the beginning of an interview or a counseling session. If possible, sit always at the eye level with the persons. Now we're looking at the counseling step of perception. We can have here a closer look at the voice and the body language, the content. And a special aspect of the SfYC Care approach is which symbol was touched and how. And our observations can also affect the image. Please pay attention to these aspects in the following film sequence.
Ach, wir haben irgendwie alles ausgelotet, was so geht. Er ist auch ein sehr sportlicher Typ und das war echt schön zu zweit das zu machen. Also deswegen habe ich hier das Fahrrad symbolisch für den Sport genommen, wobei wir nicht so viel Fahrrad gefahren sind. Und dieses Wow habe ich genommen, einfach weil es so eine coole Zeit war, so eine Wow-Zeit für beide. Das war echt super schön.
Following aspects regarding our perception, the voice and the breathing could be voice color, the volume of the voice, pitch, the speech rate, possible fractures in the voice, audible breathing, breaks, or something else. Now we come to the body language. We can observe the face, the facial expression, the color of the face, what is doing the mouth, the eyes. We can have a closer look at the hands and the fingers, arms and feet, posture, and sitting or standing position. Our perception could also deal with the content. This means, in this case, where is the most energy? Are there any stressed words or sentences? Are there any repetitions or pauses? And which symbol was touched and how was it touched? And observation can also refer to the image. For example, all islands are on the deck. Only the island of fear is not on it, is next to it. Now we are looking at the counseling step, interpretation and agreements and action plan. Of course, also the voice and the body language and the content could be interesting here, but also we have a closer look at the emotion. From this point on, the counselor and peers also make hypotheses about the emotional state. For example, at that point I can imagine you were very, very shy or disappointed or something like this. And also we are speaking about our own resonances, including our feelings, thoughts, experiences, professional competencies, and also physical and emotional reactions. In the following, we will show you exemplary sentences from our practice. I can imagine, I know this from, I'd be really angry if I were you. You show a very mature and adult attitude. From my professional experience, I can say that you are not alone in this. If you talk about that, I get the feeling of, how about you? I think I'm stuck here and wonder if a change of place or perspective could be helpful. What else is helpful? Have a closer look at where is the most energy of the use of the body language from the persons we work with and also your own body language. Your short own speech parts. Always focus on change and repetitions. And the last point, even if we couldn't see it in the film sequence, it's always recommended to invite and assist a change of perspective. Thank you for watching and see you next time.